What's up? What's up? Lord Skunk here, LordSkunk.com, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes live show. We are here. We are ready to roll. We got a lot of news, tons of great stuff tonight, tons of great guests tonight, just all kinds of good stuff that we have. Appreciate everybody for checking us out. Make sure if you have a question, you hit us up on Twitter. You can follow at LordSkunk1, and you can tweet at Lord or hashtag LordSkunk your question, and we'll make sure we answer that tonight on the live show. We do have quite a few good questions already in the pipeline, so if you want to get one in, make sure you do so. We got room for probably a couple more, so I definitely recommend getting in there and doing that. I'm going to pop in to Discord here. We got some people that will be hanging out with us tonight. I believe we have Grand Patron will be hanging out tonight. I believe that we're going to have Riemann stopping in. We're going to have Cheeky Cutie. We got Cass Dispella, who's going to be bringing us his Swindler's Minute. We got McLeod, who did our top 10. He's got the meta report coming for us as well.
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up? So all kinds of good stuff. So sound off. Who's here with me?
I'm here.
Skunk. This is Glenn. Casaspella in the house.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Okay, so we got Riemann and Grand Patron. I think will be joining us here in just a little bit, so that's cool. We are over in the LordSkunk.com Discord channel as well. If you haven't checked out our Discord, make sure you do so. Head over to LordSkunk.com, click on Discord up at the top, and it will bring you right into our text and voice chat program, where you'll be connected to thousands of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes players just like you. All right, so let's take a look at some of this news, man. We got some good news this week. Well, we got news this week. We'll decide, I guess, if it's good or not here in a minute. So let's take a look here. We're going to pull up the old trusty LordSkunk.com, where you get all your daily Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes news and goodies. And we'll see what we have for our faithful tonight. So let me pull that up here. Make this a little easier for everybody to read. I'm going to try to stretch this out. So let's start off first with this new tank Takedown that now we knew it was coming, but now we got a little bit more information about it. The tank Takedown raid details were released today for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Obviously, they're trying to push on Jedi and Jawas, but I'm going to read through this a little bit, and then I'll get some of the guests' thoughts and input on it. The newest raid in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is almost here. The tank Takedown. The new raid offers exciting rewards for powering up your character roster. Let's take a look at some of these new rewards, the phases of the raid, and the requirements to participate and more. Raid information. Normal difficulty. Requirement, 6-star or higher characters. Roster refresh is daily. Daily attempts is 5. Launch cost is 55,000 tickets. Now this is new. Intended for level 80. Gear level 7 with MK5 mods. All right, and then we have a heroic difficulty of requirements 7-star characters, roster refresh never. So you get to use your whole roster of 7-star characters, and that's it. Similar to heroic raids now. Daily attempts are unlimited. Launch cost is 60,000 tickets, intended for level 80. It's a key point there, level 80. Gear level 10, MK5 mods. So far, what are you guys thinking about that? Now, two things to point out is now it's tickets we're going to be using instead of tokens, because they said there's going to be 2 currencies. And now we're looking at intended for gear level 80. You guys think that's a misprint, or do you think this thing's really going to be geared towards the previous level cap?
I think it's towards the previous level cap, and the reason why I think that is the raid's going to come out long before we've settled in at 85. So we're going to be running this out of the gates at that difficulty tier, with some 81s, 82s maybe, depending on when they release it. And then the majority of players, unless they're pushing it now and they wait a while to release, might even be at 80. So I think it is that recommendation in terms of gear is geared toward those of us who are at level 80 or maybe only slightly above.
Good point. All right, raid phases. Phase 1, main target, General Grievous. Secondary targets, IG-100 Magna Guard ×2, and B-2 Super Battle Droid ×1. Now, I thought I saw previously, and it kind of looks like in this video, he summons them. I don't think he summons them again. I think he just summons them one time, and then you defeat them, and then he doesn't bring them back. There were certain conflicting reports where it looked like he actually, could summon them again, but I don't think that's going to be the case now that we have a little bit more information on the raid. Phase 2, main target, Tank Hull. So this is where we actually take on the actual tank that the raid is named after. Secondary targets, main turret, left gun, and right gun. And then we're going to be taking, and then that'll move us into phase 3, which will be the main target will be the Rocket B2. So we're back now. We kind of blew up the tank, it looks like, and now we're back to fighting droids. With secondary targets of B1 Battle Droid times 3 and B1 Battle Droid Commander times 3. Have you guys seen this this Rocket B2 guy? It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, he looks awesome.
Yeah, hopefully he'll become playable at some point in the raid. Phase 4, this is the last phase of the raid, so we'll be finishing that up. Grievous obviously wants to talk a little trash now at this point. Main target, Tank Hall. Secondary targets are going to be the main turret, the left gun, the right gun, and the B2 Super Battle Droid times 2. So a little pilot dude jumps out. So did you guys have a chance to take a look at this? What are you guys' thoughts on this so far?
Looks really exciting. I can't wait to give it a go and test out the characters that they recommend as well.
Yeah, we're going to get that. That's actually the next thing here. Actually, Jedi and Jawa are the recommended squads. Now, take this with a grain of salt, people. Okay, each of these types of squads will receive bonuses when used in the raid, so they do have somewhat of a bonus. We touched on those in past live shows. What those bonuses are, they're actually fairly decent. More towards, I thought the Jedi, I think, had the advantage there. I can't remember off the top of my head what the exact bonuses were, but I think the Jedi had a little bit of an advantage out of the two. But they both look pretty good on paper. We'll see. I've seen some different reports here on other people's speculation as well, on them thinking that, yeah, this is good, but there's probably going to be other characters or other raid comps, just like we have now. We have multiple different types of characters, to successfully get high damage on the current Rancor raid. So it'll be interesting to see. I would like to be able to run that all I'm a Gundai Jedi team. That's actually the very first team that I started when I started playing the game. When I actually started getting my roster filled out, was an I'm a Gundy led team until the Qui-Gon Jinn meta came out, and then I switched to Qui-Gon Jinn lead. Now, raid currencies. When the raid launches, guilds will start earning 2 types of currencies, one for each of the raids. This will allow guilds to launch both raids at the same time instead of having to pick one over the other. So now we know we have the raid coins or tokens, coins I believe, and then now we're going to have raid tickets. I'm not sure how we're going to get the tickets. Raid rewards. When guilds complete the tank takedown raid, they will be rewarded with credits, guild currency, and gear. If guilds can complete the raid on heroic difficulty, they will also be rewarded with shards for a brand new raid exclusive character, which I'll get your guys' opinion in just a second on who we think that might be. They've also made adjustments to the raid character shard payout for heroic difficulty. Players that earn spots 1 through 3 on the leaderboard will receive the highest amounts, while ranks 4 through 50 will earn the same number of shards. We have made this change so that guild members can acquire raid exclusive characters at roughly the same rate. So this is a very nice feature. Hopefully they'll kind of back update that as well for the Rancor raid. That would be cool to make it that way for the Han Solo shards. But this is actually good news for guilds. I think as a whole, it kind of takes some of that competitiveness out. Not competitiveness, I don't want to say that, but negative competitiveness or negative where you're just trying to fight up that leaderboard. And sometimes there's a pretty big disparity. If you're level or you've come in at number 40 and you're number 5, in the current Rancor raid in regards to Han Solo shards. So, what are your guys' thoughts on the raid rewards and then this possible new character? Who do you think it might be?
Let me first call out the devs for fixing what we were all worried about, which was guilds choosing between raids.
Yes.
So I'm very happy they corrected that and that didn't become a thing. That would have broken up guilds. And even though it took longer to come out, I'm very happy about that part.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So what are your thoughts on the rewards, the way they're doing this with the, they're making the shards, from basically 4 through 50 the same?
Yeah, that's probably the biggest complaint that they got originally about how they divided up the rewards previously, was that the disparity between sort of the tiers that you would get makes it so much harder to acquire the raid-only character. So this, at least they're listening to the feedback and the community, and that's great. So shout out to the devs for that as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
It does depend quite a bit on how many we get at rank 4 through 50. If we get 3, I'm going to be pretty bummed out. If I could get 8, 9, or 10 hitting first, second, or third, and I'm on that bubble. But if it's 5 or if it's 6 or even if it's 7, which would be terrific, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I think if they did kept it kind of the same theme they got now, where you get 10 9, 8, and then maybe make it 5, or like you said, 6 for 4 through 50. I think that's reasonable. I think that's a good number to probably go with there.
Yeah, and once everyone figures out what the kind of pattern for the characters to have and everything, it makes it a little easier that once the people at the top have finished that character to get other people into the top 3, because you know that 4 through 50 are going to be getting the same. So it's easy to elevate if you coordinate within your guild to get everyone an even chance at finishing off the raid-only character quicker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So real quick, we'll go around. We'll start with Casaspella. So who's your choice for the raid exclusive character, the new one?
I'm gonna name 2 characters. My bona fide prediction, it's gonna be General Kenobi. Who I would love to see is Jar Jar Binks, and he'd only be useful as holding rank because he has a move that goes really slow, and no, he's not effective. So I'd love to see Jar Jar Binks as a raid exclusive. Don't just give him to us; make him actually work for us. And that's my prediction.
I feel like I just got trolled. All right, Cheeky Cutie, who's your pick?
My pick is R2D2. Like, I think a lot of people reckon it's going to be him as well. And he might have a special part when the ships come out. You never know. So I thought it might be cool to put those 2 things together.
That's a good point. Yeah, that definitely could be something there. Maybe he buffs the ship or something. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right, McLeod, what's your thoughts?
Thinking along the same lines there as Cheeky Cutie, that with ships coming, that R2D2 may be quite relevant at the moment, and they've been gearing up towards this. And although it was delayed, it looks like they may be trying to coordinate with the release of the ships as well if R2D2 is the new character. So I think that's where it's headed. People like General Kenobi would be cool. Young General Kenobi from obviously the Clone Wars series, that kind of era Kenobi would be nice, but by all accounts, I think it's been heading towards R2D2, so I'm sticking with that for now.
Yep, and since you guys kind of hit on the R2D2, I'm going to go ahead and elaborate more on the General Kenobi. I think General Kenobi would be really cool. Number one, I just watched that Clone Wars again the other day, the movie, the actual movie of it. So he was pretty cool in that. And then also, General Grievous, I'm watching that on the screen right now, Obi-Wan, Ewan McGregor, is campaigning to do a Obi-Wan movie, which I think would be cool because, as he's saying, right now is the perfect age to kind of do that in-between phase of when he started his Obi-Wan and when Alec Guinness, had his Obi-Wan, in A New Hope. So he can kind of bridge that gap in there, and he can kind of show you what happened. He thinks there's a whole story there, what happened on Tatooine. Obviously, there's a lot of years between those 2 episodes that that are unaccounted for. So there's some good options there. I really hope that happens, and so I'm going to make that my vote for who the new raid character is going to be. So we'll see. Yeah,
and a movie like that would be pretty easy because the expanded universe with all the graphic novels and the books, there's plenty there to draw from. So it wouldn't take too much to adapt one of those unless they wanted to go completely new. But yeah, there are plenty of source material there.
So a question that everybody has on their minds is, how long will it take me to reach level 85? And the good news is you can use the lordskunk.com level calculator to find out. Okay, so we just posted this on lordskunk.com. Our mathematician slash spreadsheet master, Daniels Jacks, put this together real quick for us. Team Skunk Daniels Jacks put together a simple and easy level calculator to show us how long it will take us to reach level 85 with custom light side, dark side energy refreshes as well as Cantina refreshes. Check it out here. So what you do is when you click that link, you just simply create a copy and you'll be able to edit it. This is just a Google Doc. So I'm going to pull it up and just give a quick example. Here once it fully loads. All right, so my current energy or my current level, let me pull mine up just make sure. Yeah, 7693. So I'm going to edit that 7693. I typically refresh light side, dark side energy up to 5. Do the 250s and the 3100s on average, and I usually will do at least 2 Cantina refreshes. So right now I'm level 80. My current XP is 7693. I'm going to be looking at level 81 in 3.9 days. So on October 17th, I would be 81. And then to reach 85, it's going to be 37.4 days. based on this. So you're going to get a daily. If you use your daily XP, use your natural refill, and your bonus energy, it'll put me at 85 and 30. Wow, that sounds. I don't know if that sounds long or if that sounds short. 37.4, but that's what the math would total out if I did the refreshes based on this. So it's pretty cool. So you can put in what works for you. You can check it out. It's pretty simple. There's nothing too crazy to it. But check that out on lordskunt.com. And thank you to Daniels Jacks for putting that together. How much are you guys refreshing right now, on average?
Well, normally I would just do one cantina and one regular energy refresh, but I've been doing twice that much.
Only one
But
regular
I'm
energy. There's only 50,
Yeah.
50 crystals, though.
But I'm going to run out of crystals real quick, so I'll just have to stick to one each.
I typically would always do both the 50s on regular energy, both the 100s on Cantina. But currently, I'm going to be pushing through the 200s on both until I hit level 71 or 81 on Sunday, and can do my all three of the challenges at the higher tier, the new gear challenges. So I'll get a few of the new gears, and from there I'll probably scale it back and just spend 600 crystals a day doing all the 100 refreshes. And I figure it'll take me about 5 weeks from that point forward to get 85.
Nice. And just so everybody knows, I will be level 81 on Nathaniel Mortimer's birthday, just so you guys know that. All right. And then also, Grand Patron this week did an interview with Team Skunk member. He's going to try to do this throughout the week. Now, we always have a spotlight on the live show, which we'll get to a little bit later, I believe, if Patron makes it. But he's going to try to do this a couple of times a week with various members. He's going to do an interview with them. This is a little bit longer, a little bit more in depth. I mean, on the live show, we can only do, a few minutes, but he can do them a little bit longer. So we're posting those over on the Team Skunk YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed to the Team Skunk channel, make sure you search in YouTube for Team Skunk, or you can find that over on my channel listing. It's the teamskunk.com YouTube channel. He's going to be posting member spotlights. Now, the member that was spotlighted most recently was Sith Master Pizza, who is actually one of our youngest members, and he's about 14 years old, and he's been with us pretty much almost since the beginning of us forming guilds. And he kind of has a cool story, because Wiseman Pendle, who is a member of Team Instinct and an admin over the lordskunk.com Discord server, who helped out a ton of new members, actually they kind of connected, and Wiseman Pendle kind of became his mentor. Well, when Wiseman Pendle left the game, he actually turned his account, the Wiseman Pendle account, over to Sith Master Pizza, which was really cool, because Sith Master Pizza is doing videos and stuff like that on YouTube and different squads and stuff like that. So that was pretty neat. It's kind of a neat story. He kind of talks about that on the member spotlight. So make sure you check that out. You can find that on lordskunk.com. There's a link that'll take you right to it. And then the last major thing that I wanted to go over, a couple of just real quick things. Ben Affleck announces Anna Kendrick is the next Robin. Make sure you check that out. That's over on lordskunk.com. That's an exclusive lordskunk.com. Okay. Star Wars Rogue One trailer released today. You got a scene-by-scene breakdown with all the good stuff in there. You can check that out on lordskunk.com. We got the last Swindler's Minute of Zam Wessel's up there. We spotlighted Riemann last week. That's up there if you want to check that out. The new
Speaking
Star
of
Wars.
Riemann's in the house if you want to bring him in.
Is he? Yeah, we'll bring him in just a second. New Star Wars Rogue One poster release was pretty sick. Did you guys check that out? Anybody catch that or no?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. And then the last thing that we had for news before we move on is the 10/11 notes, which came out, I believe, a day after we had our last live show. So let's bring Riemann up. Okay, so we're going to go over the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes update from 10/11. We'll bust through those real quick. What's new? The level cap increase. Most of us know about that. We've been doing it for the last couple of days, but anything that I want to touch on, I think there was a couple things in here. They did the Galactic War double drop stuff, right? You guys got the double drop for the Galactic Wars?
Yeah, that's been handy.
I did indeed, even on my ult.
Yeah, that was a huge issue on the official forums, man. I was just happened to peruse through there, just looking at the update notes, and every single person, like 16 threads or 16-page thread on people talking about the Galactic War double drop thing. That's one of the hot topics, and there's another hot topic which I'll get to next. But the Galactic War, see, a lot of people had already done their Galactic Wars. They saved up their 2 for the guild challenges, I guess, different time zones, and they totally missed out because it came out later, I guess. Did you fall into that trap, Chicky Cutie? Are you in that time zone or no?
a lot of my guild members did have that happen to them, and they weren't too happy about it. But luckily, because I'm real slack with mine and always sort of run a day behind, I got to do 2 whole sets
Nice.
when everyone else didn't.
Yeah, I did as well. I just thought it's funny. People were going off. There was like that was definitely a heated topic on there. The second thing that's funny out of all the stuff that was announced this week, the second hottest topic where people had a lot of negativity towards it was this update in the guild chat. You guys notice that when anybody gets a mod, a rare mod, or the update a character to another star
Right.
level? Yeah, people are freaking out about this thing.
That one is kind of legit.
Yeah, which I kind of
Compared to
understand.
the other one.
I kind of understand because one, the chat was already kind of broken, for one, right? Number two is that you only had a limited amount of chat that was saved already. So
I think it's 50 entries. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, it's crazy. Now, thank goodness for Team Skunk, we use Discord for chat. We don't really use in-game chat as much, but I can imagine for some of these guilds that only have that form of chat, man, that would make it very difficult for them.
Well, here's an example of a problem that could bring up right now. With the server just having gone down real brief just before we got on air here, we had to obviously put out messages. And if you haven't turned off that thing, and I'm posting like no one raid right now because no one else can get in. We didn't know if it was everyone, if it was some people. And if you've got 100 messages about people leveling up stuff or putting on gear on people, that message is just going to disappear and you're not going to see it. And also, if you turn off the guild notices, you don't get the notices about the raid starting or which phase is completed. So you have to turn it on just before you start a raid or during a raid, or, you know, they kind of maybe want to take a step back and get rid of that particular feature because it's really getting in the way there of people who aren't always on Discord.
Yeah, I think the big thing with that is that if you're going to do it, at least be able, and you can turn it off, as you said, but you know, it turns off all the guild raid stuff.
It turns off the important stuff as well. You can't separate that out.
So if they could separate those, I mean, I understand why they're doing it. They're trying to. A lot of games do that. You know, trying to get you to compete and you know, spend more or whatever. You know, it just brings that psychology of it. But they should at least split that up. I think between the two would make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
And let's take a look here if there's anything else that was too exciting in there. Oh, let's look at the light and dark side battle. So light side stage 9 is going to open at 82. Light side hard is going to open at 82 as well. Dark side will open up at 85, and then the hard stage also at 85. And then the cantina is going to be what is it? Where's the cantina at? I thought that was in here. What does the cantina open up at? Cantina is 83. 83, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, I didn't see that in here, but could be missing that. But there's some good data mine stuff. I don't really want to get into all that, but I do before we skip out of that totally, I do want to touch on just a couple of things that were data mine though, were characters. And there's some new characters that are possibly coming out. Somebody just put in the chat Imbo. And then there was I believe possibly wasn't there some Knights of the Old Republic characters that were data mined. I thought somebody was talking about that in Discord. So we'll have to take a look more at that. Mal, you're being shouting out to Dartron. Nice. Dartron's in the house. Is Dartron in the chat? He is in the chat. Dartron is in the chat.
He's down there with Remon.
Nice.
I probably went to go check him out and bring him up here. So just bring him back in a sec.
Yeah, we might need to bring him in later and talk a little bit. Okay, so make sure you head over to lordscunt.com. All your news and updates are there. Everything Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and everything else that I like is on there. So make sure you check it out. Now, I want to go on to our next segment. What is next on our list? Is it going to be the meta report, or is it going to be the top 10? Which one are we doing next?
It's probably going to be both because meta report is real short this week because not a lot's changed. But we'll just give you a quick update on that, and then we'll move straight on through.
SWGOH because I got that.
Did you get the chart I sent you? It's all in one right there because it is that simple.
You know what?
You go to your PMs on the Discord. It's sitting right there.
Let's take a look here. Nope. The last one I got was from was the top 10, and then I got last week's. So nope, not in my Discord, not in my PM on Discord. I did not get anything.
Weird. It's right here. I'm looking at it.
Nope, it didn't come through on my end.
All right, let me shoot that to you right now because it should be real quick. It's probably going to take longer to get it to you than it is to explain it, but here we go. Right. You got it now.
All right, there it is. Got it. Boom. All right, so let's open this up. And oh, it's too big. It's too big now. It's all right, guys. Technical difficulty. That's okay. That's the beauty of live broadcasting. Well, let's start. What are we doing? The black was last week, and the white is this week.
Yeah, so that's what it is. So you got two charts here, and as you can see, you check the black, which is last week's, and up to date this week on the right-hand side there in the white. They're basically exactly the same. There's very, very little difference. In terms of the leaders, they haven't moved at all. They're exactly the same. The numbers have changed. Obviously, a few more people are registered on the site. But in terms of the percentages and slices of pie, as you can see, they are identical. So if you just drop down a little bit there to the squad makeup, all you're really going to see there is another round of musical chairs where you've got a few more Emperor Palpatines versus Wedges and vice versa. But essentially, you're still looking at the same squads and the same teams. I'm going to assume it's held station this week because everyone is chasing leveling up and put a hold on mods, which that's what seems to be the race right now in terms of the meta report. Is those are the stable characters that are the meta right now. The only way to improve is just to keep putting better and better mods on them, whether it's for damage or for speed, and that's why they haven't changed that much. And everyone's chasing the level 81s to 85s to see if this new gear is going to make a difference. So I imagine we're going to see the same thing holding station for a while until everyone figures out exactly how the new gear and leveling up is actually going to affect the arena situation. And there's that. So we'll save a bit of time on that and maybe throw that towards more questions towards the end of the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that's how it was the last time too. We leveled up. It's pretty much the prior meta. Everybody just kind of stuck with what they were doing before and waited till they got closer to the level cap. So yeah, you're probably right. It'll probably
it's just smart. Have a bit of a waiting game, see how it falls, and then start chasing towards that meta. Whoever figures it out first.
Yep, that makes sense.
And we'll let you know first here.
Always. All right, and then now we can get into our top 10. Let me make sure we get. I want to say hello to my good friend Dartron. If he's in there, let's bring him up.
Yeah, and bring Raymond back in as well.
So we got Dartron in the house.
Dartron's in the house.
Yep. Hey, what's up, guys?
What's up? Where you been?
Just relaxing for a bit. Concentrating on my work and building my new computer. I've been taking a little cool down off Star Wars for a bit because I'm frustrated at the PvP for now. So I just decided, break away for the game for a while and recharge my batteries again. So.
Well, welcome back. It's always good to hear your voice.
Yeah, I know. I haven't heard your voice for a long time, so I heard I got a notification that you're doing a live stream, and oh damn, cool, Skunk, I gotta get on.
I actually, what? Just so you know, I actually went to your channel the other day. I can't remember if it was yesterday or the day before. I actually went just so I could hear your voice. And always look at like the 80 million Omega match you always had on in your bank. Always waiting to put on a character, but you never put them on. So yeah. Yeah. Good deal.
I remember Dartron posted this last video like 2 months ago. It was like he was going over his droid team and everything, and like the second he posted the video, like he had like 100 subscribers. Like when I first watched the video, and I went like out for a second. I went back to look at it again, and he had 98 subscribers. He lost 2 subs as soon as he posted the video.
Oh no, Dartron. All right, I'll have to come guest spot on one of your videos.
Actually, you know what?
You'll probably lose 2 more though if I do that.
100 subs is pretty good. I mean, for the amount of videos that he's put out there, though. I mean, because of those Chromium pack openings, he gets views.
Yeah, I featured a few of his videos before.
Yeah, actually, I might be posting a new video of a gameplay I've been playing right now. It's really good. I like it. It's called war warlords. It's like almost like Final Fantasy tactics. So if you're a big fan of um, real strategy time games, it's a really fun game. Basically, I give you a quick rundown of the game. Basically, you gain control of the maps you take over. You explore a map, and you try to take over that map, and then they have PvP where you got other people who try to take over your land. So you got to defend it, and then you get gear from it and stuff like that, and you can level up your gear and stuff like that. And I heard they're gonna be adding more stuff to the game, so it's a really good game. I like it.
Cool. Cool. Well, we'll look forward to seeing that video. Now I want to get into the top 10 segment of the week. All right, let's take a look at this. We're going to be looking at the top 10. I believe this is farmable characters for new players. So this is good. So Dartron's going to like this because he's coming back to the game. So he's almost like a new player again. So suggesting a 7-star Rex lead may seem like a great idea for players who have been active in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes for months. But what about people who have just started this summer? Which characters are the best options for early leveling and gearing to ensure success in Galactic War, Arena, Cantina, and regular energy missions and early raid tiers? Now, we get tons of new people that come in all the time in the Discord, that come on to live shows, that come into live chat. So this is good for them. This is good information because sometimes we forget when we're looking at a roster like Remon that has every character, almost every character unlocked, and they're all level 80 and they're all purple. We forget that there's a lot of new people out there too that are just starting the game on that beginning road that we all started at some point in our Galaxy Heroes career. So the number 10 character farmable character for new players is coming in at number 10 is Tebow. Galactic War credits is how you get him. Tebow is the key to the Rancor raid, and even at low levels can help provide additional time to put damage on the captain and Rancor. By the time you get to 80, you'll be glad you have him. Now, the great news for new players is this can really put them ahead in their raids, because a lot of those are lower tier raids, and Tebow, not only is he good in the heroic raid, but he is great in some of the lower raids as well. So you can kind of put you ahead and make you the big honcho, the head cheese in your guild. Some of them might not be doing research like you're doing right now. They might not be watching the lordskunk.com or subscribe to the lordskunk.com channel. So this is good information for you to have by getting that Tebow. Number 9, Old Daka. Remon voted her as the most beautiful character in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Hard nodes and Cantina credits is how you get her. She's an interesting niche character that can stun and revive allies. Old Daka allows early and mid-level players to complete those pesky dark side missions for easier gear farming. Number 8, Rey. Hard nodes and guild credits is a long, slow farm that never gets much easier. Rey has enormous burst damage and foresight for survivability. She was a number 1 choice for months, but given the rise of burst AoE damage in Arena and the added benefit of synergy at low gear mod levels, her value has diminished slightly. Royal Guard, hard nodes, and Cantina. A long, slow farm until you unlock him from Cantina nodes. Royal Guard provides speed down, reliability for the Rancor raid, and is a huge wall of protection for early Arena teams. Number 6, Stormtrooper Han. You get him from Arena credits. ST Han provides moderate value in the early and mid game, but an early investment will have tremendous returns with a developed level 80 roster. His biggest limitation is his reliance on gear for survivability, which can limit him when first starting out. Princess Leia, Arena credits. Trick or Treat, Leia can single-handedly give you Arena victories and huge burst damage numbers. She's especially valuable paired with other Rebel characters. Her biggest drawbacks are the wasted turn going into stealth and her penchant for a single attack when you need 3. Captain Phasma, Galactic War credits. She brings a tremendous kit to every game mode and excels at facilitating burst damage, turn meter manipulation, and speed down. If there were more decent first order characters available, she could be even more valuable. Luminara from Galactic War credits. An absolute beast of a character from the moment you get her. Luminara provides huge single target damage and effective healing for Galactic War and Arena. You may never need her after you are comfortably at 80, but until then, she is invaluable. And for a long time, she was my number 1 character overall in the whole game. Qui-Gon Jinn coming at number 2. You get him from Cantina credits. Qui-Gon Jinn is an excellent Galactic War and Raid character who continues to be valuable from the first day you get him through Tier 7 rating. If CG ever releases enough good Jedi, he may even be the number 1 farming option. Now, Qui-Gon Jinn is still actually on my Arena team right now to this day. Lando Calrissian, Cantina node. The beautiful mustache brings enormous AoE damage and a leader skill that can help in every single game mode, including Scoundrel Challenges. Lando is an outstanding value as an early Cantina node farm and easily the most valuable character for early game players. Keep in mind, his AoE, if it crits twice, it instantly resets the cooldown and increases 100% damage. So a great character that gotten even better now with mods and all the other stuff that you can do with him. So great top 10 list there. Who is our top 10 list from this week?
It's Malleus Bean at the moment. He is the top 10 guy for now.
Malleus Bean is our top 10, number one of our top 10 top 10ers. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So there you have it. So final thoughts for this week. Another option is also a droid team. You can get HK-47 at 88 out of Cantina shipments, 86 out of Galactic Wars shipments, with B2 out of Cantina battles, Jawa Engineer from Guild shipments, or take out B2 and add Chief Nebbit. Where do we get Chief Nebbit at, guys? I forgot. I couldn't think off the top of my head when I was doing these notes.
He's arena shipments.
Arena shipments. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, arena shipments for Chief Nebbit. So good. Another TeamSkunk.com presentation brought to you by Mac Media Artist Collective. Boom, baby. Boom. Very nice. Very nice. So, where are we at next? What's next on our list?
So have we got Grand Patron in yet, or is he not making it now?
I don't think he's going to be here today, right?
No, I don't think so.
Great. So who are we spotlighting for Team Skunk?
Well, we actually have we're supposed to have Malleus Bean, but I don't know if he's around right now.
Let me check.
Malleus Bean always hangs out in the chat for the live shows.
He is online on Discord, so if you want to pull him in here.
Pull him in.
He has to be in the chat thing for me to do it.
You might have to message him.
I'll send him a message. In the meantime, did we do the meta report already?
Yep. That was a fast one this week.
It's a quick meta report.
So since I missed half of your stream, what is the new meta you guys been talking about?
Well, it probably speaks to what you left the game for a while. It's a bit stale at the moment. It kind of held station with all being about either Wigs or Emperor Palpatine, a few Rexes in there, but it's exactly the same as it was last week. It's the least movement we've seen on a meta from week to week in a while, and we're assuming that's because everyone's waiting on leveling up and seeing where this new gear and these new levels is going to take everyone.
Yeah.
And we haven't talked about what we think the next meta is going to be yet.
Molly is waiting right below us.
Malleus Bean's in the house. What's up?
Evening. How's everybody doing?
Good. We just went through your top 10 list of the week.
It was a callback from earlier days, back before I hated Riemann.
Yeah, I remember we did this list quite a few months back. We did a list very similar to this, and guess who was not on it at all? Period. Lando.
I was sad to see Ray drop so low.
Yeah, Lando was not on that list during that time, so he's come a long way.
Lando is all over the place now. He's number one leader in the game.
So
Well, he's very good because his leader ability is really great.
He makes all those scoundrel credit heists so easy. You can just auto them while you're running around.
Yep.
Yep, and
Speaking of
he's a scoundrel and a rebel, so you can't complain on that.
Well, you can once Shore Trooper. Everyone has him because then Lando's not so useful. But until then, Lando's fantastic. So if you're on a shard with Riemann, you can continue to hate him because he continues to run Shore Trooper.
6-star short trooper.
I know, it's too bad he couldn't win.
Yeah, so close yet so far away.
That 2-hour nap gets you every time.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does.
Let's talk about something else.
Let's do talk about something else. So the great news is we now are going to move into our Team Skunk Spotlight Member of the Week, brought to you by Grand Patron / Riemann Azab. So take it away, Riemann.
Okay, so our Spotlight Member of the Week this week is going to be none other than the longtime Skunk member and one of the original Team Skunk Alpha members, Malleus Bean. Also, our top 10. Also, what do we call him? Our number one top 10 guy.
I think I'm number 1 through 10. I don't think anyone else writes them, so I'll take it. I'm also number 10.
Yeah, he's definitely in our top 10 of top 10 writers for sure.
Well, so Malia, obviously, you've been playing the game. You're on my shard, so I mean, I know how long you've been playing. But
Yeah.
just for our viewers out there, when did you start playing, and what attracted you to this game when you first started?
So I can remember watching Empire. I'm a little old, so I can remember watching Empire Strikes Back in the theater, in my local theater downtown. So I was when I happened upon the app back in November, I decided to download it. I was a Blizzard fanboy for a long time, and had gotten a little tired of the Blizzard grind, so I was looking for something a little different. And Star Wars was kind of the way to go. And so I kept with the game, stuck with the game, got more and more interested. And every time in my arena payout, some guy named Remon would come and swipe my number one with 30 seconds left. And I hated that guy. And I happened on Team Skunk, and Remon was on there. And I'm like, this isn't the same Remon, because that guy, that guy. And that's how our bromance started.
Yes, that is how it started. So I mean, since then, Molly has been doing a great job of locking me into rank 1 for the last couple of months.
That's my job now. That's my number one Team Skunk job, is to lock Remon in.
He's got to make sure I get those 500 crystals. Otherwise, I mean, how am I going to get the gear? Right?
When he was running Ahsoka,
I mean,
it was hard. But now that he has good arena teams, it's a lot easier.
And that's all because I started watching the LordSkunk.com live streams.
There you go.
And I learned that Ahsoka just isn't good.
It took you a while to learn, though. That was a solid month or two.
No, I have to say I have to say I typically go against the grain. So I mean, I have recently though fallen in line. So I mean,
you went against the grain with your droid team, and it dominated the shard for 2 months. So sometimes against the grain is good. Sometimes it's Ahsoka.
So wait a minute. So is this spotlight about Remon or is this spotlight about Malia Bean?
Well, it's easier to deflect. I feel like it's a presidential debate.
Yeah.
Anyway, going back to the spotlight. Now, Malia, obviously, you started off, coming into the community through the live streams and through the chat, and obviously with us being on the same shard. But what is your function in Team Skunk today?
So I'm kind of the guy behind the scenes. I'm the little wizard behind the curtain. I do a lot of the stuff with recruiting. I do a lot of the organizational stuff. When new guilds want to come in, I help facilitate that. When there's an issue in Team Skunk, I help sort of smooth things out. And then I try to help with content, sort of plug in wherever I am needed. But right now, lately, because we've had so many amazing players and amazing guilds coming in, like Cheeky Cuties Guild, I've sort of tried to make the community as big and healthy as possible.
So real quick, let's talk about the recruiting process to get into Lord Skunk, because a lot of people, are unfamiliar maybe with guilds in a mobile app. Maybe they're familiar with guilds like in an MMO and other things, and they've had to apply and do all that other stuff. And there are some other guilds actually in this game or this community that go about recruiting a little bit differently as well. Well, to just kind of tell people the process for us, if they're looking at joining a Team Skunk guild and what they kind of need to be prepared for and what they need to do to accomplish that.
Absolutely. So just as background, if you're not that familiar with Star Wars, you're just starting out. The guild functionality serves a couple of key roles. One, it gives you a little social support, someone to hang out with, someone to chat with. The other is it gives you the opportunity to do raids at any level. And when you're an early player, it can be a really neat new game mode. And a late player, it can be your only way to get high-end gear without shelling out dollars. And then it also provides you with currency to pick up some new characters like Dengar or Jawa Engineer. So the Team Skunk guild system is very complicated. There's a 3-part interview process. Lord Wrath comes in, gives you about 3 hours. No, you come in, you come into our Discord through the teamskunk.com website. You join our Discord community. You pop into the Looking for Guild group channel. You post your information, and usually within 5 minutes, we have you connected with a great group of people who are at your level, who are excited about playing the game and excited to bring you into the community. And we have opportunities from T5 all the way up to very, very high-end T7 guilds. So there's really a lot of opportunities for a broad spectrum of people.
And I just want to go ahead and give Malia and all the rest of the officers that are involved with Alpha some credit, because there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that people just aren't aware about, as far as making sure that we get our coins every day, making sure that we get recruits in when we lose people, making sure that that we get information out to everyone, and that everybody's got communication. It's more than a one person job, and a lot of people that do a lot of different things that maybe don't get all the credit that they deserve. So I mean, just want to.
Team Skunk is a very well-oiled machine, and I will say that 1,300 people, or 14, or however many 124 guilds, definitely requires everybody pitching in and helping out, and we all certainly appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Lord Wrath organizing things, and Daniel's Jack with his spreadsheets and making sure that we, that guy can tell anybody in the guild how many Han Solo shards they have.
And this is a key point. We've got a new raid coming out, and this raid looks complicated. And the only way you take down complicated raids is by having people who are invested and interested, and people who are willing to go all in to try to figure things out to push you ahead. So if you're looking at that AAT raid and it looks a lot more interesting and exciting than the Rancor raid, the best way to down it is to come into a Team Skunk guild, because we're going to put 100% effort into that. And we're going to get it down as fast as anyone.
Great information here, but just finishing up with the spotlight here. Now as far as
I feel like I got off easy. You didn't ask my favorite color. Or...
How did you get into gaming in the first place? I mean, obviously you started off with World of Warcraft and such, right?
So I have a very stressful job, and the way that I manage my stress is by escaping into video games. And I have a little girl, and my wife travels, so the only real thing I can do at 11 o'clock at night is to play video games, and so I have for a long, long time.
Excellent. Now, I guess the way to wrap it up here would be to ask you, who do you want to see as the new AAT raid character, and how many points do you think you're going to score on your first new raid?
Well, I think I'll answer the second question first. I think I will be lower on the first raid, because I'll be stuck doing mop-up duty, because we have some people who are going to be flying high, and I'm going to be stuck in that phase that nobody else wants to do, trying to tinker around. But no, character, I'd like General Kenobi. I feel like Jedi need help. I feel like clones need help. And I think Kenobi could be a nice bridge between both.
Nice. And that should conclude the member spotlight. But if you have anything else you'd like to add, of course, with all the raid information being dropped tonight, and you being, kind of our raid guru, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
I'm around.
Yeah, well, he'll be in the. Are you gonna be in the after party hosted by Remon?
Absolutely. Come on now, it's a Remon party. There's no place better.
If this is your first time watching this, or you're watching the
Not
replay,
the Remon party.
Yeah, we got the after party. It's going to be co-hosted by Remon and Darktron tonight. So I don't think you want to miss that. That's always after the live shows, and that is in. Oh, go ahead.
Darktron's cat also.
Yeah, Darktron's cat. Yeah, Darktron's cat. Remon and Darktron will be hosting this. A lot of EDM music, and a lot of Darktron telling us good jokes. So make sure you head over to the LordSkunt.com Discord. That's where that happens after every live show. Usually, what does that go on? That goes on sometimes. I've seen you guys in there for like 2 hours before, chatting away. So,
oh man, I've been in there for way longer than 2 hours.
Well, I know you have. I mean, I'm just saying, like as a group, like a large group of people have been in there for.
Cheeky too. So I mean, for any of you guys out there that want to talk to a Star Wars girl,
yeah. And I mean, the most beautiful Star Wars Galaxy, second most beautiful Star Wars Galaxy Heroes player, is available to chat. And look at it, we already got the voice chat filling up down there already. So cool. So make sure you check that out after the live show. What's next on our agenda, McLeod?
All right, I think we got the questions coming in from all our avid listeners and viewers, so maybe we should get to those.
Good, because this is actually going to be a little bit longer segment on the questions. Now, how do you ask a question on a loreskunk.com live show? Well, the first way, and the way that I prefer it, if you could do it that way, it makes it a lot easier, is if you follow @LordSkunk1 on Twitter, and then just tweet. You could tweet me or just tweet in general with the hashtag AskSkunk. So put your question there, and you can ask Skunk that way. Now, the reason I like that is because that means the question is only going to be 140 characters, and it's not going to be long and drawn out. Now, I do have to address a couple of people, though, a couple of VIPs that did send me some messages. One was through email, one was through Discord, and then a couple through Twitter. So let me get through these real quick, get these out. Now, first question is going to come from Nick, a.k.a. Krakanan. He's in the guild called Short Bus. Hey, Skunk, I got a question which I thought would be fun for the guys in the stream and gals. He didn't put that in, but we're also going to include Chicky Cutie in there. On the stream to answer and discuss, if you could change one thing about the game, what would it be? For example, add or remove a feature, more dev engagement, better character balancing. And this is what he had to say. This was his answer for his own question. For me personally, it would have to be character balancing. I'd love for them to spend some time making some characters viable in game. Obviously not a small task, but it would add so much more depth and variety to the game. So that was actually really cool, and it started to make me think a little bit. There's another game that I played, which is called Heroes of the Storm, where constantly, at least once a month, the devs are looking at the basically the win rate of certain characters, and they're retweaking them, they're balancing them, they're changing some powers, maybe increasing something a little bit, or increasing some health, or lowering some speed, whatever it might be. So they're constantly doing that to keep different characters, keep the meta moving, keep characters changed up a little bit, which I think would be cool. I think we kind of asked for that for a long time. So I really liked the way he was going with that. Another game I play avidly, does that. So that's my vote. I'm going to go along with those lines of character balancing. What do you guys think?
Well, personally, I think that they've actually been doing a pretty good job of creating characters lately, in comparison to where we were at in the past. So I mean, like since Sunfac B2, just the more recent characters. I mean, with a few exceptions. I mean, Zam Wessel. I'm sorry, Malia.
You don't have to apologize to me. I'm not the scoundrel minute.
With the exception of characters, I mean, and even Zam Wessel, I mean, has a cool kit. She maybe needs some rebalancing with her her stats or whatever. But overall, I just think the kits have been a lot more developed and a lot better. The problem is, you have things like what happened with Mace Windu, where you make a correction or you fix or adjusted a character, and the guy still sucks. So it's like, you have to keep constantly making those adjustments. And I think it's easier for them to make adjustments to kits than it is to make adjustments to character-based stats, just for the balancing. So, I mean, for example, what they did with Ahsoka, where they added that speed into her unique, I think we're going to see more adjustments like that versus seeing, like, them giving 30 speed to Darth Maul or something like that.
So I'm going to go with a different Blizzard game to answer the question, which is Hearthstone. If you like playing the game, like I like playing Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, I can play for about 15 or 20 minutes and then I'm done. Hearthstone, you can play for free with very minimal rewards all day long if you want. So I would love it if they included a game mode, which you could play whenever you want, which would have very minimal rewards, but which would not require you to spend money in order to enjoy the game.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like PvP against your allies for free.
Sure. Why not? Just something for me to do. Try out new teams, something to experiment with.
Maybe they use a different currency and you can fit your allies.
I mean, how about stop fighting Remon all the time? That'd be wonderful. Is that a game mode?
It should be.
Nice. Chicky Cutie, what's your thoughts on that one?
So I would really like something that would never happen, and that would be if we could exchange shards for characters. I think that would be cool, but I understand that would probably make people spend a little less on the game.
What do you mean?
Like we can exchange, like donate gear pieces if we could donate shards. I think that would be cool. Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Okay. All right, McLeod, what you got?
All right, just before we get to that, as Cast a Spell, are you still with us?
I sure am.
All right.
Oh, no.
Yep. Oh no, here it comes. We gotta give him his.
Talk about his nugget. Don't talk about his nugget, please.
It's not going to be his nugget, but it's going to be his little corner, his 1 minute or 4. I think we'll give him his.
Swindler's Minute.
There we go.
All right,
So
folks.
much
Now it is time to move on to our Swindler's Minute, brought to us by Team Skunk Gamma Castaspella. Bring us our weekly Swindler. Now, who's our Swindler this week, Castaspella? We'll pull him up here on SWGOHGG, and we'll take a look at why you tell us about him.
We're taking a look here at Boba Fett tonight.
Oh!
And specifically in context of a scoundrel-only team.
Oh, no.
Nice. I'm excited about this one.
So the team, anyway, is somewhat flexible, but we've, at its most central, it has a Boba Fett lead, a Greedo, a Han Solo, a Newt Gunray, and to cap it off, a Zam Wesell. And I tell you, this team, looking at it not in context of level 80, because that's not going to remain the most relevant level discussion for much longer. I'm talking in terms of level 85. So I've considered the new speed. These scoundrels happen to get terrific speed increases. But on top of that, they also get a lot of damage. Boba Fett gets serious with his basic hitting for 10K. It's no Greedo who's hitting for an average of 20K, or Han Solo who can hit for 20.
Did we lose him?
Let me check.
Castaspella, did we lose you?
It shows he's here, but we can't hear anything.
Or that was the exact minute and someone dropped the hammer on it.
Or he died. What if he just
No,
died?
I think
right
we
now?
lost him there.
He didn't die, did he? Please tell me he didn't die.
No, probably a phone crashed or something, or the scoundrel just defeated him.
Well, I'm sorry, guys. Where was I?
Yeah,
when
you were
phone
telling
calls
us
come in,
about.
it
You were
kills
telling
my
us
Discord
how hard.
connection.
Oh, okay. Well, you were telling us how hard Boba hit. His minute was up. Jason Castler's.
Yeah, we're only letting him do an exact minute at a time.
Yeah, 1 minute. That's
Oh,
it. He's got
man.
off.
Another minute.
Man,
and
I got
60
2 to
seconds
4. It's
and
close.
I know.
Three
You gotta.
minute.
Yeah, okay, listen.
So-
you were telling us how much Boba Fett hits for.
Yeah, Boba Fett's hitting for 10K on his basic, only 7K on his AOE, so nothing all that special. But he's got a better potency now, a respectable tenacity, the best on this team at 36% plus whatever you put on it. So we're talking Boba Fett. The only reason he's really in there is because of his overpowered leader ability, and the leader ability itself warrants consideration. Plus, he's quite survivable. He has that nifty little ability to come back, which can sometimes tip the tide right there at the end. I've seen him bounce back several. But the most important part of this team is the bomb laying and the speed factor when you consider Zam. Zam gets up to a 163 speed with 2 of these new mods or gears that give +6 speed. She gets very good. Her basic hits for 10K. And that's, again, nothing to speak of, except she's going to go like 20 times during a regular match because of all of the bombs that Greedo and Newt are throwing. Newt's bomb, additionally, can hit for an amazing amount of damage. I have yet to capture the right snapshot of a crit all around with his his exploded bomb, but it can crit, and with a Boba Fett lead, now we're talking serious damage across the entire team. Han Solo can pop people off. So a couple of considerations for this team. It's mainly specialized around trying to make Zam and Newt do something interesting together, which I think it can deliver on. But another way to approach it would be to throw in Lando and Stormtrooper Han instead of Boba Fett and Greedo. So then you still have Han Solo, you still keep Newt and Zam, and that team could work quite effectively as well. I will be trying out these teams in Arena here in the near term future. I've prioritized them in terms of where I'm spending my Omegas and where I'll be spending my early level 81 plus gears. So I'll be talking about this team. Happy to report its Arena progress, that is, every once in a while, as we keep talking about Scoundrels on the Swindler's Minute. Next week, we're going to talk about Scoundrel tanks, which will be very interesting because there are a lot of options here. Unfortunately, none of them are all that fast, which may just be giving away the punchline for next week. But this team, we'll keep revisiting it, and I think it will pack the punch that other teams have been missing. So as Cassie Speller for the Swindlers Minute, I'll sign off.
Excellent. Thank you, Cass Spella. Love that Swindler's Minute. I look forward to that Swindler's Minute every week.
Me
Very
too.
good. Very good.
Yep.
All right. Well, good to hear news about Boba Fett. I'm excited to see what he could do. We've been waiting for a long time for him to be included in our meta list. So let's
So
see.
we have to go back. We have to go back to some questions now, right?
Yep. We have some questions here. Well, that one was kind of a special one. I wanted to get that out there for him. That was when he sent me an email. Actually, sent me that a couple weeks ago, and I just happened to see that in there. I was like, "Oh shoot, I better answer that question for him." All right, now the next question actually comes from somebody out of our Discord. This is from Thorns Genocidium. Okay, he wanted me to give him a shout out as well. Him and his girlfriend are supposedly watching. Her name is Stephanie. He said she is a great gal, and she, as we were talking about a little bit yesterday, we're talking about dating. Girls dating gamers or being married to gamers, and he said she supports him 100% in his gaming. So shout out to Stephanie. And also, Thorns Genocidium has a question he wanted to ask you as he gets down on one knee. Boy, I really freaked him out. All right. So here's his question. I've been trying for days to figure out where to find a song or songs that are played during the live shows. I've gotten some suggestions, but all of my leads don't pan out. I'm looking for the song that samples the Duel of Fates and any other songs that are similar. I downloaded Far, Far Away earlier, but the song isn't on there. So here's what I did for everybody, okay? Because I get this question a lot. If you go to lordskunk.com, okay, and you click on the links up at the top, you might have to click on it twice. There might be two sections for links. But if you scroll down, there is a whole section there, music feature on the live show and videos on there. And if you do that, Genocidium, you can see more music. If you click on more music, I went ahead and put every single thing that I have, Star Wars related music, along with Goblins from Mars, who also does a lot of the remixes that are played on here, along with Far, Far Away, are all in this folder that you can listen to or download or do whatever you want at your leisure. So I get a lot of people that ask that, so there you go. That's handled. So that question's out of the way. And thank you, Stephanie, for supporting gamers around the world. All right. Now, this one's from Twitter. Okay. I know Riemann will be excited about this. This is from Hockey Nerds Unite. Okay. And again, remember, if you guys want to ask this a question, go to Twitter, follow @LordSkunk1, and then just use hashtag AskSkunk. Hey, man, any suggestions on to find a guild that's a little better? Mine is fine, but I can pretty much solo raid 6, and I have to raid tier 6, and I have to lose on purpose so others can get a chance. I finished generally around 7 to 10 in arena without a refresh. Not an elite player, but not bad. I don't know how to find guys to play with that are a little bit more into the game. Now, there's a lot of people that actually have this question, and that's how they end up finding Team Skunk. So let's give it to Riemann. Riemann, what would you do in this situation?
All right, so let's just recap here. He's got he's basically in a guild that's doing tier 6 raids, right?
And he's soloing them for the most part.
And he's soloing them for the most part, and he's also basically not having trouble on his arena shard.
Doesn't seem like it, no.
Okay, so I mean, your answer here is really it's really pretty simple. You have to join Team Skunk. Okay, and I mean the thing is this. I mean, you know, if you're in a guild where you're so far outperforming everyone else in your guild, and you're just, you know, you're literally, I mean, it's like you're just playing with a bunch of people that really can't play up to the same level. I mean, you're holding yourself back by not being in a guild where you have the potential to generate more benefits, especially if you're doing T6 raids. You could obviously, if you're soloing T6 raids by yourself, be easily able to do T7s. Now, a T6 raid is really long. I mean, isn't that kind of insane to solo a T6? Or am I off base here?
Yeah, it would take a while.
Yeah, it's got way more HP than a T7, so that's going to take at least double the time it takes.
If he's soloing a T6, I mean, you're probably better than I am. So, I mean, listen, the answer here is, I would say you probably want to move up into a more competitive guild, and just kind of, I mean, not only for your, for your rewards, just for more knowledge. You're probably not getting a ton of uh, great feedback from people that are performing less than you are. So, if you're able to work with other people that are doing, around the same amount of damage that you are, you're going to get a lot better feedback. You're going to learn a lot more about how you can do better. And, with the new raid coming out, we're hearing a lot about it being really difficult. So you may want to step into a more uh, advanced guild just to be prepared for that.
Yeah, good question. All right, now we got a couple quick ones I want to burn through. These are from Twitter. These are from the hashtag AskGunk. Here's one. This was definitely up Remon's alley. Hashtag AskGunk. When do you think we'll be able to farm shards for? He said short trooper, but I'm assuming he meant short trooper. This comes from Peter Tellup at Peter Tellup. What do you think, Remon? When we'll be able to farm short trooper? I know you've already farmed him, but when do you think the rest of us will?
I don't think Shore Trooper is ever going to become a farmable character. I think that the tournaments are going to come out a lot more frequently than they have. I think that obviously, with all the feedback that they got from the initial drop of the PvP tournament, they're probably just making some adjustments to the tournament itself. And when they roll it out next, I'm sure from that point on, it'll probably be more of a regular thing, kind of like the Scoundrel events, like where you get the credit heist and the training droid smuggling, or the trade droid smuggling. So I mean, you're going to get probably a lot more opportunities to do the tournament, probably once a week or maybe once every other week, and you'll just have to farm it out of that. And over time, you'll eventually get them kind of like you get your shards for any raid characters that you get.
I think if a Shore Trooper becomes farmable, Remon would need a box of tissues and a big Team Skunk hug because there'd be some big tears. Big tears.
Nice. Well, thank you, Peter, for the question. Let's move on to the next one. This is another good one that Remon is the only one I know. Malubine and Remon would be good ones for this. You guys are the only ones I know that are running higher level Jawas. This is from Lil V at Luke Vinoit, I don't know. At Lord Skunk 1, if I'm running a pack of Jawas, which one do I want to go first, and which attack am I looking to use? Hashtag AskGunk. Now, I'm assuming he means other than Jawa Engineer. I'm assuming that's what he means. So, have at it.
So, he's talking about which Jawa attack he wants to go first, then Jawa Engineers would obviously go first. After that, you're talking about using mods to try to stagger attacks. That is a very, very high-level arena-type Jawa squad that I don't think would even work. The key is to get as many specials done before Nebbit taunts, because Nebbit's taunt reduces the cooldown on all those specials. So you want Nebbit's taunt to go last, and whatever you do in front, the order matters a little bit less.
Yep, and I think people are asking this, or probably him, and a lot of other people ask this because now with that release of the tank raid, and EA and CG put in there that Jawas and Jedis, are obviously going to have a supposed bonus in a raid. So that's actually a good point for him to bring that up, and that's good. He's definitely looking ahead towards the next raid. So good question, Lil V. Thanks for sending that in. Now this is another question that was kind of a follow up to a question we're going to get to next. When do you think we'll see some more Rogue One characters? I think we're going to start seeing a lot of Rogue One characters. Don't you guys think?
Absolutely.
I think as we get closer to the movie release, we'll see a lot of Rogue One characters. Obviously they're going to release the face characters from the movie. Jyn Erso and probably that guy, Director Krennic, and maybe some other characters like that. I'm really holding out hope that we get the Death Trooper in December when the movie drops. The Death Trooper looks really cool. And, I hope he's a hard-hitting character and they don't make him suck.
Yeah, that Death Trooper, I'm sure, will absolutely be in there. It looks like the two main characters they're pushing right now, light side is obviously, what's her name, Jyn? And then on the other side, on the dark side, they're pushing Death Trooper. I just noticed that. I was looking at some stuff that they released.
There's actually the guy that... I forgot his name. He's a really famous actor that's in the movie. You know who I'm talking about? He's got the afro.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, it's another good actor too. He played in 3 of the martial art movies. IP Man.
It's Ip Man.
Ip
That's Donnie Yen.
Yeah,
Who is
Don-
the guy?
Donnie
Donnie
Yen.
Yen. I worked with him on a movie actually. So
He
Who's the
is
guy who's
amazing.
playing the? Who's the guy who's playing the clone? He's a famous actor. Anyway, he's playing actually a clone from the Clone Wars cartoon series. So they're actually he's one of the clones from the original Clone Wars cartoon series, and they're basically bringing him in as a character in this movie. So you're going to see. So they're actually directly tying, a character from the original from the cartoon that they released with Ahsoka and Anakin and all them.
You're talking
And
about
he's going to
Forrest
be
Whitaker?
yes,
Forrest
Forrest
Whitaker.
Whitaker.
Yeah.
He's playing a clone from the original Clone Wars. So I mean, you're going to see him at a much later, older age in Rogue One.
He's playing Saw Gerrera. Was that a clone or was that a brother of a Resistance person? It's been a while.
He's a clone.
All right. Cool. So we will see a lot. You'll see packs for those. I guarantee you. You'll see a light side pack and a dark side pack, whatever it is. The bad side and the good side. You'll see a pack for $99 in there. Guaranteed. You'll be getting your Rogue One characters very, very, very soon. And then this one comes from a Team Skunk member, Rex Vasta. I believe he's in Gamma, isn't he? Isn't it Gamma he's in?
Rex Vasta also has his own YouTube channel.
Yep.
He makes videos here for Team Skunk as well.
Mm-hmm. His hashtag AskSkunk was, what characters do you want in the near future, and what character do you want to be as reward for the new heroic raid? So we got a 2-for-1 in there. So let's start with the first one. What characters do you want in the near future? I'm going to go back, and I'm going to make this real simple, because this is going to be one character for both. I already talked about it earlier in the show. I would like to see General Kenobi as in the near future, and I'd like to see him as a new heroic raid character as well. Again, as I said, I just watched that Clone Wars animated movie, which I like him, man, and I really want to see him do a movie for Ewan McGregor to finish out his tenure as Obi-Wan, the in-between phase. So that's my option. What do you guys think?
I kind of agree. I mean, that's probably. I have a feeling that that's going to be the character. Just based on the setting, since they're choosing the Clone Wars kind of for the setting of the new raid, I feel like it makes sense to have Clone Wars Kenobi in there, and being that they're saying it's going to be a fan favorite, and being that a lot of the fan favorites are already in the game. I mean, I have to assume that that's probably going to be the way they go. But I mean, as far as characters that I want to see in the game, I mean, obviously Jedi Luke is one that I've always wanted to see in the game, and I'm hoping that they bring him out in some sort of a tournament or some sort of an event in the future. But I mean, there's a lot. Obviously we've always been pining for Slave Leia. I don't think that'll ever happen, but I mean, that'd be great. And I honestly, other than that, like besides like the main characters that are obviously going to come in at some point, I would say I'd also love to see Revan. I mean, we saw some information on Reddit the other day about Revan possibly coming in at some point as a character and being both Jedi and Sith, and that would be amazing. But we'll have to wait and see.
Absolutely. Anybody else want to chime in?
So
Go ahead.
my biggest disappointment with Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is that the Jedi are just not useful. So I think General Kenobi is a great answer, but I'm going to go with someone a little bit more obscure. Quinlan Voss is a really neat Jedi from the series. He's got a book out where he pairs up with Asajj Ventress. I think he could have some synergy with Asajj Ventress. He could buff Jedi. He could do huge damage. I think it'd be a fun character. I've been there.
All right, now I have 2 questions to wrap everything up. So number 1, Riemann, this question's for you. Riemann, where did Ahsoka's new lightsabers come from?
From an Inquisitor. She ended up doing battle with an Inquisitor that discovered that she was a Jedi before she got into Rebels. So she already had a battle with an Inquisitor prior to that, and she took his kyber crystals and bent them to make them clear like her lightsabers are in the Rebel series, and she basically just stole those crystals from him and made them her own.
Good, and he found that out because I linked to him an article that talked about that today in Discord. So
also-
all right. Go ahead.
I also mentioned it last night in the stream, and I said exactly that.
Okay, fair enough. All right, and then now maybe that article was based off what you said in the stream. That could be.
Is that from the book or is that from somewhere else? The book that
from
just
the
came out?
book.
Oh,
It's
nice.
from the book. It's from the book. Yeah. It also explains how how her and Rex got away in the first place, and
I
it
feel
kinda
like
just
you
gives
should
more backstory.
spoiler alert this.
Yeah. Well, that's all over news now. Where the lightsabers came from. That's not giving away anything out of the book, really. Okay, so now the last question that we have to wrap everything up before we head over in the stream and head over to the Remon /Dartron Cats after party featuring Cheeky Cutie. The question is for Dartron. Dartron, you with us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right. Well, I want to
The
welcome you.
flesh.
I want to welcome you back. You've always been a wealth of knowledge for us. Now, my question for you is this: if you were stranded on a desert island, who? Who would you want to be with you? So again, if you were stranded on a desert island, who would you want to be with you?
You know what? I probably would pick you because you would be the good person to talk to keep me company.
Oh,
Could there be a better answer? Could there be a better answer?
I think we need to leave the chat, guys. Let's give them some privacy.
Some quiet time on an island.
Hey,
Yeah.
don't hate on this bromance. Dartron was my very first guest, so he'll always have that for the rest of his life. He was the very first guest.
He answered this question already a long time ago, and the answer was different.
I know. I think he's answered it probably 3 or 4 times. I remember the very first. I got to find that live show that he asked that question. That was classic. I got to go back and find that. I'm gonna go back and do that sometime this week. I'll go back and find that. I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember which one it was, but I will. I'll listen to 3-hour long live streams, at least 50 of them, to find it until I come across it.
Did he say Brad Pitt or something?
No,
Did
he said a president.
He said a president.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we'll finish it off with saying, hey, thanks to everybody who hung out with us on the show. Appreciate that. Again, make sure that you follow us on Twitter at LordSkunk1, Facebook at LordSkunk1. Make sure you subscribe and like the channel. Highly appreciate that. Check out Lord Skunk every day for all your Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes news and everything else that you could possibly want to know about in life. And also, make sure you head over to our Discord chat so you can interact with all of us whenever you want to, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And you'll be privy to the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Remonazab /Dartron Cat featuring Cheeky Cutie live show, after show of the live show. All right. Thank you to all the guests. Thank you for everybody who watched. And we'll see you over there on the LordSkunk.com Discord server right now.